What's up everyone and welcome to another video of the GC channel. I am GC, also known as Joe Coin, and today I'm gonna talk about the upcoming movie called The Suicide Squad. And you may be wondering, but wait, Joop, it is the Walking Dead period, right? So then why are you talking about something that has nothing to do with The Walking Dead? Well, yeah, it is the Walking Dead period, and it will stay the Walking Dead period until the Walking Dead season 10 is ended, which will be somewhere in early 2021. But there are some videos I have to put in between because I can't talk about the Walking Dead during this whole period. I can do a lot of videos about the Walking Dead, I know I can, but I also want to do a little bit variation. And I know that also some people won't really like it if there's only Walking Dead for a long time. So, yes, you can call it the Walking Dead period because there's mostly Walking Dead videos in it. But there are also some videos in it about other stuff, and that's why it's not totally a Walking Dead period. And these videos that are not about the Walking Dead don't really belong to the Walking Dead period. So it's gonna be a fun, interesting period. And for today, we're gonna talk about all the characters that will be in the Suicide Squad, and we're gonna predict their fates. And as we know, the Suicide Squad will have a lot of characters. And we saw a little bit of a trailer, more like a sneak peek, a little bit of both, but anyway, it was a trailer, and in that trailer we saw all the cast members saying stuff like everyone's exploding, butts, guts, genitals everywhere, don't get too attached. This is like a 70s war movie combined with the comedy and characters of James Gunn. So it is a war movie that's gonna be very violent, with probably a lot of casualties, or else they wouldn't say stuff like that in the trailer. So a lot of people are gonna die, and that's mainly because there will be a lot of characters. Some of them are crappy, some of them are funny, some of them are pretty good, but they all brought in for good reasons, and we know that the movie is directed by James Gunn. James Gunn is a great, amazing director. He has done amazing stuff with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he is gonna do a lot of other great, interesting stuff in the future. This is by far the biggest movie he's ever made. That's what he said himself, so it will be a great, awesome movie. But today is just about talking about the characters and predicting their fates.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence.
You're my dream, you're my nightmare. Life is
Amanda is the one who brought the group together, and without her, the Suicide Squad is pretty much doomed. And I don't see her really much doing in this movie. I think that she will give the assignments to the squads and then stay back at the base. And yeah, I don't think we will see much of her in this movie. I think she will have a way less bigger role than she had in the original movie. She was too big of a character in that movie, in my opinion. So I hope, and I believe so, that they will cut her, most of her scenes out. She will be in it, of course, but not for that much. I think she will be there for like the opening minutes to explain what the squad has to do to save the world, and maybe somewhere at the end of the movie. She is just the leader and the girl who brings everyone together, and she will of course live, because without her the squad is pretty much dead.
she don't fight fair.
Welcome Task Force X. These are your brothers and sisters for the next few days.
Captain Rick Flag is probably also fine, because without him the squad is also dead and won't exist anymore. So yeah, he's fine. Then we have Harley Quinn. She's gonna have two awesome looking suits in this movie. She has a red dress and I think it's red with black leather suit. It looks amazing. And she's gonna be a total badass, crazy badass in this movie, of course. She's gonna be funny. And she's definitely not gonna die. That's for sure. She is pretty much unkillable. Captain Boomerang. And as we know from the first movie, he was very funny, but very underdeveloped. So I hope that in this movie we're gonna know more about this guy. We're gonna know more about his backstory, maybe about that unicorn he has. What's up with that? Give us some more interesting backstory about this funny guy. Jai Courtney may not be the best actor, but he did show some great performance for Captain Boomerang, and he will definitely do it again in this sequel / reboot. But anyway, Captain Boomerang, we're gonna see a lot more of him. He is a very funny character, and I have a feeling that he's gonna die, but I hope he doesn't because he's such a great funny guy. We got a new character called Bloodsport, played by respected actor Idris Elba. And he is kind of like the Deadshot replacement. In the comics, he's a retired army man turned villain because he got kicked out of the army. Is Bloodsport gonna live? Well, I'm guessing because he's kind of like the Deadshot replacement, and because the actor is pretty big and all. And I guess his fan base will be pretty big, so I'm guessing that Bloodsport will definitely live, that's for sure.
Away from the pain, I don't care, 'cause I think
The next guy is Savant, played by Michael Rooker. You know him from Guardians of the Galaxy as Yondu, and from The Walking Dead as Merle Dixon. And Savant is a guy who, in the comics, is known as a violent blackmailer. He wanted to be Batman's sidekick or alliance or just partner in fighting crime, but he got turned down because he was a little bit too violent. And now he is turned villain because Batman turned him down. That's kind of like his story, and he's badass for sure. But are we gonna see more of him in the DCU? I actually don't think so. No, I believe that Savant is not gonna survive this movie. Javelin, he's a retired athlete. He's played by Fugo Borg. You may know him from Pitch Perfect 2. He was the German guy. He also has his own YouTube channel, and he's very funny and very talented, of course. And is he gonna die? Probably, most likely, of course. He may be a known actor to most people. He may become a fan favorite, who knows. But I do believe he's gonna die. Borg himself said in the trailer that everyone was exploding, heads, arms, genitals, so maybe he himself will explode into little parts. I actually believe that someone else will explode into little parts. I'll talk about him a little bit later. But he has a chance of exploding as well because he was talking about it himself in the trailer. So maybe he was foreshadowing his own death. Who knows? I'm back to the black again. Like, oh no. Polka-Dot Man, and he's the guy who I believe will explode into little pieces. His genitals, brains, arms, leg will all fall off and explode. And Polka-Dot Man is not really the best villain to bring to the screen, but I'm sure James Gunn has a good reason for it. In the comics, he has some pretty interesting powers. He can float things with his mind, but his appearance is laughable as hell. And we can see in the trailers that it's going to be just the same. There are more crappy characters in this movie, so I believe they will bring those characters in to make them look cool or funny, kind of like they did with the old Aquaman suit that was a dumb suit but looks amazing when Jason Momoa wears it. So I'm guessing they're kind of trying to do the same like that, bringing in dumb looking characters but somehow making them awesome. There are gonna be more dumb characters in this movie. I'm gonna talk about it later, but this is one of them. Polka-Dot Man is a very dumb character for sure, and he's gonna die because of it. Probably halfway through the movie, I believe, and he's gonna explode into other pieces. That's my prediction.
man, trouble back again. Thought I had the upper hand, oh no.
Ratcatcher 2 is a female version of the Ratcatcher. We don't have that in the comics. In the comics, it's a man. And as we can hear, this is the Ratcatcher 2. So it's the second Ratcatcher. So the original is probably dead. This may be his daughter. Who knows? She's played by Dania Major. She is a very underrated actress. And if she will survive, I'm not sure. That kind of depends on where her character goes. If her character becomes very interesting and beloved, then she is most likely gonna make it, of course. But if she's not that great, then she has a chance of dying. I'm not sure what she will do, but as you can hear from the title, she is a Ratcatcher, so she has Ratch as her best friends and uses them to fight crime. Will she survive? I'm not sure. She looks like a very interesting character, so I have a feeling she lives because her character arc looks very interesting, so they want to bring her back for more movies. So I believe that she will live, but who knows what might happen.
First day in sight.
King Shark, and he's voiced by T.D.K. And he's kind of like the Kid Croc replacement. And he is a big giant shark, king of the ocean, whatever you can call it. But he's a great character. And I don't think they're gonna kill him off, because if King Shark dies, re-roll it. So he's safe, of course.
Eyelids turn around, then day in fight.
It's Mangol as a female alien badass. And she is played by Marine NG, a very unknown actress for now. Maybe she will become more known in the future, but whether or not this alien badass will survive, I actually have a feeling she won't. In the comics, she is beheaded by her brother. I don't see her brother appearing in this movie, but I do see her being beheaded by someone. The Thinkerer, played by Peter Capaldi. You probably know him best for the Doctor Who series. And the Thinkerer is a great, underrated, smart villain. And he's a pretty big character in the comics. He's a pretty well-known villain. So you probably want to bring him back for a Flash movie. Maybe not the upcoming one, but probably the sequel. And so there's a big chance that the Thinkerer will live. Weasel, played by Sean Gunn. He is, of course, as we all know, the younger brother of James Gunn. And so it's not surprising that he will return for this movie, and it's also not surprising that he will play a CGI character called the Weasel. The Weasel is a violent, gross, weird character. And if he's gonna die, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling he will, because I don't see much for the Weasel in the future. He's Breaka as a very unknown character called Soria. This character has not appeared in comics before, but it could be a parody or a female version of another comic character called Joanna Soria. And he's not really a very powerful character. He's good with a gun and all, but he's bestly known for speaking lots of languages. He's also a cyborg, and he is good with a gun. And yeah, he was part of he wanted to be part of the Justice League, but was turned down, and so he came to the Suicide Squad and became a villain. And in the comics, he's not really that great of a character, so I don't really know what they want to do with the female version. But I have a feeling that she is way better than him and way bigger of a badass. Also, mostly because she is played by a very respected, amazing actress. So she will, of course, if she has a big fan base and if she will become a great character, survive. But if she won't be a character, more like a girl who's just there to kick ass, then she will likely die and be shot by someone, maybe in the head or in the heart or something. But she will probably go out as a badass if she dies, but I have a feeling that she survives. Pete Davidson as Blackguard. Blackguard is not that big of a character in the comics, but they may give him a bigger role in this universe. Who knows? Because he's played by a pretty well-known actor, a pretty underrated actor mostly, and so he has a chance of making it out of the movie for sure because of that. But he could also die because his character is not really that big in the comics and gets killed. So he could, of course, be decapitated or get his heart ripped out or something. We have not seen this character in the comics ever, but people believe that he is a parody of the Armful of Boy because of the logo. We see a logo with this, and then his arms are kind of like ripped off of his body. They're like separate things, and that's probably a reference to the hero known as Armful of Boy, and he's the ability to rip the arms of your body and then fight with those arms. And that's a very weird power for sure. If it turns out that T.D.K is a parody of Armful of Boy, then he will probably not be making it out of the movie. He is played by a very underrated actor, Nathan Fillion, and he is gonna probably do a great job of it, but he is not gonna live for that long. I believe he will most likely be killed halfway through the movie. Lastly, we have John Cena as the Peacemaker. John Cena kind of feels like a douchey Captain America, and he's the guy who believes peace at any cost. He doesn't care how many people he has to kill along the way. So he's very violent, of course. His costume looks kind of dumb, but I do believe that that's the intention. As I just said a couple minutes earlier, this movie is all about making fun of some characters and making them look cool, even though they supposed to look very dumb. We know that Peacemaker has an upcoming series for HBO Max, and we know that series is gonna be a prequel show about his origins. So there's a chance of Peacemaker, of course, still dying. They could do the same like with Black Widow. They still give her a movie, but she still dies. So they could do the same with Peacemaker, of course. And I actually do believe they will do that. I don't see Peacemaker in making out of this movie, actually. So he will, of course, still have his prequel show, but he has a big chance of dying in this movie for sure. And that was my video about introducing the characters of the upcoming movie called The Suicide Squad and predicting their fates. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me down in the comments below. Who do you think is gonna live? Who do you think is gonna die? Are you excited for the movie? Tell me all down in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.